is Emmanuel Sanders. And so many people are excited about that, man. I know that I'm excited about it. You know, Emmanuel Sanders being a part of the New Orleans Saints organization. And I mean, why wouldn't you be happy about this? I mean, Emmanuel Sanders is an incredible wide receiver. I mean, I've been watching this guy since, man, for a very, very long time. I've been watching him so long, like I've been watching him since he was at SMU. You know, I was watching him while he was at SMU, and when he got drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, he really did a lot of big things, man. He did a lot of big things, and to be honest with you, I was just excited when the Saints picked him up. And once again, I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I called it. That's man, you crazy. TJ, man, you tripping, bruh. You don't know what you talking about, bruh. Well, in your face once again because I called it. Yes, sir. Now let's go ahead and talk about Emmanuel Sanders, man. Let's talk about Emmanuel Sanders. Okay, for all those people out there that may not know who this guy is. Emmanuel Sanders is a wide receiver that can not only help you out in the slot, he can also help you out on the outside. And that is something that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. I think people are looking at Emmanuel Sanders like he's just this guy who is just another Ted Ginn Jr. And for those people out there, the only thing I can tell you is to do your research. I am so tired of people with this negativity coming into the chat, coming on social media. Always got something to say, but ain't watched Emmanuel Sanders since he played the Saints. You cannot look at a player. You cannot look at a player and just automatically think just because if they had a bad game or a good game, they're going to end up being good for the Saints. Do your homework. That's all I'm asking. Do your homework. I have no problem with people, you know, being different of opinion than I am. I have no problem with that. But when the opinion is just so out of space, man, I'm talking about Pluto, way out there, it is hard for me to really take that person seriously. I'm just going to be 100 with you, folks. I just can't take you serious. If you think Emmanuel Sanders is a guy who just flies down the field, then you're mistaken. I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you, folks, because this guy can help you out in so many ways. And I'm about to answer the question, man. I'm not going to waste no time. Is he the number 2 receiver for the New Orleans Saints? Absolutely. He is the number 2 receiver right now. Okay? And the thing about it is, man, he's like 32 years old. So the Saints can easily draft a wide receiver in the NFL draft, and they don't even have to get him in the first round because they have their number 2 right now. They got their number 2. They can just easily go out there, probably in the 4th, 5th round, and get a good wide receiver. That will be a really good wide receiver for years to come. Because once again, I say this week after week after week, that this is a huge draft at the wide receiver position. So the way that I see it, I see that Michael Thomas the number 1, Emmanuel Sanders number 2, and you let that person compete with Traquan Smith for the number 3 spot. Okay, that's what you do. If you decide that you want to get somebody that can possibly challenge Taysom Hill for the starting job once Drew Brees retires, then you get that quarterback in the first round. Sounds great to me, right, folks? The Saints solve their problems. And for all those people out there, man, the Saints ain't doing nothing in free agency, bruh. They ain't doing nothing. Where the money at? Where ain't spending no money in free agency, bruh? The team went 13-3 last season. It isn't like this is the Cincinnati Bengals. This isn't like it's the Arizona Cardinals. It's not like it's the Dallas Cowboys or something. You do not have to rebuild your entire team if you go 13-3. I think we all can agree that the New Orleans Saints were just a few pieces away from getting over that hump. Okay? Let's start with the secondary. We've been talking about the secondary for a long time, right? Giving up big plays, surrendering big plays, crucial moments, they hurt you, break your heart. All of a sudden, the Saints go out there and get a leader. People still got something to say. Malcolm Jenkins coming back to the New Orleans Saints is not only going to solidify the secondary, it is going to elevate the secondary. For all those guys out there that you had problems with, all those guys that you were frustrated with, this guy is a leader in the secondary that has seen it all and has done it all. And now you have him mixed in with a young cornerback crew, a young safety crew. He can get those guys where they need to be. But the thing about it is, folks, you still have people out here saying that Malcolm Jenkins can't play. Where have you been? I had a conversation with somebody that said, I asked them, I said, why don't you like Malcolm Jenkins? They said, because he's always hurt. Huh? Malcolm Jenkins has not been hurt in 6 years. Okay? The 6 years he played for the Philadelphia Eagles, he did not get hurt not one time. Well, TJ, what about that play that he gave up to Alvin Kamara down the field on the wheel route? You can't win them all, bro. And we all can agree that Alvin Kamara has hands almost similar to a wide receiver. So there's no embarrassment there. But I can tell you this. Malcolm Jenkins is a leader. I can tell you for them to win the NFC East. I need y'all to pay attention, folks. Not all of you. Because some of you are really good at analyzing New Orleans Saints football. I give you a round of applause, okay? A lot of the questions that get asked to me are from real diehard Saints fans that I respect dearly. But some of y'all, man, I don't know if y'all just contrarians or you just want to be negative. There's nothing wrong with a team going 13-3. There is nothing wrong with just re-signing some of the pieces that you already had. Nothing wrong with that. Why should you just completely restructure your entire team going 13-3? Somebody please answer this question for me. You don't have to. So when the Saints go out here and they sign in the same usual suspects, there's no problem. Okay? There's no problem. Now we can agree. PJ Williams needed to go. Eli Apple needed to go. There are so many Saints players out there that may need to go find other spots. But there are some Saints players that needed to be resigned, and the Saints did that. Okay? I mean, I don't know what else to say. But that's my little spiel. Emmanuel Sanders, I think he's going to be really good for the New Orleans Saints. Okay? He's going to be really good for the New Orleans Saints. I have absolutely no problem with Emmanuel Sanders being with the New Orleans Saints. If you watch that game against the San Francisco 49ers, you see he can do some everything. Guy threw a touchdown. He caught a touchdown. I mean, he was all over the field. And I think that he's going to be really, really good for the New Orleans Saints. And if he stays healthy, I think the Saints will be good. I mean, he has some injuries and stuff like that. As far as that number 17 is concerned, I don't think he's going to wear number 17. He's probably going to go back to his original number, which is number 10. I think he's probably going to be number 10 for the New Orleans Saints this season. But I'm going to open the floor up to you all. But I want to let you all know that you can donate to the State of the Saints podcast by hitting the $ down below. That is the super chats. I really appreciate every donation that I get. Also, man, you can call in. The number is at the bottom of the screen right there. It's right there at the bottom of the screen. If you want to call in, give you a little spiel. Only thing I ask you to do is to, get your little spiel in, and let's just keep it moving, okay? We want to make sure that we get everybody's opinion. We want to make sure that we respect everybody, and, so I have no problem with that. Once again, number down low. But I'm going to go ahead and read some of the chat, man. I see some usual suspects in the chat. As always, shouts out to my guy Dalton, Jared Poor. I see Invictus up in this thing. You know what I'm saying? I see some of the usual suspects. What's going on to CJJ, who was the first on the chat. Ryan Flanagan says, nice. Breeden, what's going on? Edward, Sean, my guy Jerry. Once again, Dalton. Dada Saints, number 1. Who that? TJ and crew. What's going on? Malcolm Jenkins returning. Emmanuel Sanders signed. Now Saints can go get the best player available at 24. I agree. So glad we signed Sanders. Yo, there's a lot of people excited about Emmanuel Sanders being signed to the New Orleans Saints. Man, I can't knock you for that one. I am too. I'm really excited. We've been asking about this for a long time. A long time, people. When are the Saints going to get themselves a number two? And I'm going to tell y'all something that y'all probably knew. But according to sources, the Saints wanted to make a trade for Emmanuel Sanders, but the 49ers end up making a better, I guess a better trade to the Denver Broncos in order for Emmanuel Sanders to come there. So the Saints have been wanting Emmanuel Sanders since last year. And when you see what Emmanuel Sanders has done, I mean, why would you even be surprised? Uh, Thank you very much, Annie Clark, for donating $10 to the State of Saints podcast through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Annie. I really appreciate that. Who that? I can't wait for football to start. Me neither. Me neither, Annie. I cannot wait. I mean, all this stuff that's going down is crazy. Some people on lockdown right now. I don't know who just sent that, but I just seen that the city of New Orleans is on lockdown, and I checked that out, man. Even though I no longer live in New Orleans anymore, I still got ties to the city. I still got ties to New Orleans, and shouts out to Brian Jackson, who is a native of New Orleans, even though he a Cowboy fan. We're gonna let that slide. But he is an RTA bus driver, and he was down on Canal Street. He got off the bus, and found Canal Street. It looked like a ghost town out there, man. A lot of people scared. A lot of people are afraid to leave the house. I mean, people are just trying to make sure that they put people in the best position to get better. I have no problem with that. Man, this is some scary times right now. I mean, you walking past people, you don't know what they have. I mean, it is, it's really frustrating. It's really frustrating because people want to continue to live the lives that they once had, and I'm really afraid. Because man, my girl, who's a nurse practitioner, she deals with that stuff every single day. She deals with that stuff every single day, and man, I just get a little bit nervous for her, but her optimism and her strength and her courage, it keeps me motivated, to be, brave and and stuff like that. But I mean, I really do care about her. And, it's kind of funny, man. We were talking and she was telling me, man, people just be trying to finesse their way into the clinic. They're not seeing a lot of people with, different symptoms and stuff like that. But then people, start lying about their symptoms, and then when they get in the room, they won't tell you what they have. That's some scary stuff right there. But nevertheless, I want to make sure that that she's safe. I want the whole world to be safe. So, I hope everybody is getting through these tough times. And how do we get through these tough times? We talk about stuff like football. 228, you're on the State of the Saints.
TJ Jones.
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing good, sir. I'm talking to the host
Yes, sir.
of the State of
yes,
the Saints podcast.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for
Yes, sir. How
calling
you
in.
doing? How you doing,
I'm
man?
doing all right, man. I appreciate you calling, man. What you got for me?
Oh man, I'm just excited about the news over the week, man. About Emmanuel Sanders signed on Friday, and
Yeah,
the return of Malcolm Jenkins, and
right.
a couple of more signings. I think we got DJ Swearinger. I think they used to
Yeah,
play with the
yeah,
Redskins.
yeah. DJ
Signed
Swearinger,
him
he
to a
came back.
1 year
Yep,
deal.
yep. Yeah, man.
So
A lot of things to be excited about. Who that nation, man. I mean, what do you think? Okay, do you think that the Saints are going about free agency the right way, or do you feel like they need to go out and maybe get some of these splash players that some people in the Who That Nation feel like they need to get? What you think about that?
well, to me, I think what we're looking at right now,
Mm-hmm.
the draft is coming up right now. Right now, pretty much since we already signed Emmanuel Sanders,
Right.
I think we should. I think we should get another young linebacker. I think. What you
Right.
think?
Well, I'm hearing a lot of people bringing up Clay Matthews. I've even seen some articles that saying that the Saints may need to try to get Clay Matthews. Clay Matthews, of course, he's not what he used to be when he was in Green Bay, but I think that he can contribute to the team. And I think if you get somebody like Clay Matthews, and the Saints do have some young linebackers, I think they will be able to make a run at it. I think the loss of AJ Klein, that's going to be kind of missed. But they still have Alex Anzalone. They still got Caden Ellis. They got guys like that. And if you possibly add somebody like Clay Matthews, I think that'll be great too. But I kind of
Hmm.
agree with you on the linebacker. I mean, if probably later in the draft, you probably can pick up a linebacker. Somebody that's
Yeah.
young that can possibly learn from the Mario Davis, Alex Anzalone guys that've been in the locker room. So the Saints are pretty much okay. I forgot about Kiko Alonso as well. They're kind of okay at linebacker. The only concern that you have is the injuries between Anzalone and Alonso. But
Yeah.
I think they should be okay, man.
I agree with you, TJ.
Yeah, man. Hey, buddy, you got anything else for me, man?
Not much, not a whole lot, man. Just know I'm thinking about you, man. I'm
I
praying for you
appreciate
and
it,
the family, man. As
man. I
we go through
appreciate
this,
that.
going through this coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it. Just
Yeah,
my prayers. I hope they end this thing, bruh.
yeah, man. That's what's gonna get us through, man. Prayer, no doubt. But thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you very much for calling in. I really do appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. You have a good night, TJ.
All right, you too. Take care.
You too.
Yeah. Man, shouts out to everybody out there, man. Once again, y'all be safe. Thank you very much, man, for your call. But yeah, the linebackers, man. I hear a lot of people talk about the linebackers, but I think people are looking at Clay Matthews. And honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing Clay Matthews in New Orleans. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think he's a good linebacker. I still think he has some left in the tank. Is he the same player that he used to be? Absolutely not. But I still think he has something to prove. Excuse me. 985. You on the state of the Saints?
Yeah, I had a question. Yeah, do you think we have enough? You think we have enough to make it to the Super Bowl?
Do I think we have enough to make it to the Super Bowl? To be honest with you, yeah, I do think the Saints have enough to make it to the Super Bowl. I was talking earlier. This team isn't like it's in rebuild mode or something like that. This team still has an opportunity to get some of their core players back, and they still have an opportunity to actually make a run at this before they have to, shuck out big time contracts. And I think, we have to know that these guys went 13-3. It wasn't like, they were 8-8 or like, like I said, the Cincinnati Bengals. They needed a few spots to be solidified. They need a little bit of leadership here and there, maybe some in the locker room, some on the field. And I think they did that. And the thing we've been talking about for a long time, and this is probably going into about year two now, was a number two receiver. So they finally solved that problem. They got somebody in the secondary that can be,
Yeah,
the anchor there. And, you get yourself maybe a couple more pieces, like somebody that can be like rotate at pass rush. I think you should be okay. I don't think that's an issue. What about you, man? Do you think they have enough to go to the Super Bowl?
yeah, I do. I just need a Jordan opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just want a
man.
Jordan.
Yeah, man. I think we do. I really do, no doubt. I think that what they're doing right now, they're doing the right things. It's much easier to get guys that have been in your system for years and are developing, paying them versus a guy that's coming in off the street. You really don't know what they're going to bring to the team as far as chemistry are concerned or production. Because we have to be realistic. There are some guys that just play. They all play for money, but some people just allow themselves to get money and just shut it down. So you got to be careful with those type of guys, man. So that's just my opinion. Do I think they can make it to the Super Bowl? Absolutely, my brother.
Thank you,
Yeah,
thank
yeah, man.
you.
But I appreciate the call, man.
All right.
All right, thank you. Yeah, man. Yeah, of course they can make it to the Super Bowl. The Saints can make it to the Super Bowl, man. I believe that. I know a lot of people on here believe that. I know every single year, it hurts. It hurts. It really does with that nation. It hurts because we know that the Saints are a really good football team. We know that the Saints have what it takes to go to the Super Bowl. For the last 3 years, we know that the Saints have been one of the best teams in football. And it hurts because we know that they can win it all, and they don't. And a lot of the problems that we have, I've been hearing it going into year two of the state of the Saints. We've been having the same conversations. We've been having the same conversations about number two receivers, secondary suspect, need linebackers. We need a pass rush. The Saints are slowly getting their act together. And I have no problem with that. And you have to be really, really careful, folks, not to destroy your team because the fan base is frustrated. I mean, that's an issue. And I just want to say, you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful. You got to be careful not to mess up your team because you're frustrated about a couple years. Let's see. Clay Matthews is past his prime. The guy on free agent market. This is young, and it is upside. It is Nick Virgil from the Bengals. Draft need to get another linebacker. Murray from Oklahoma is available at 24. Yeah, I agree with that. DLP, he passed his prime, but he still has something to offer. I mean, rather it be leadership or anything. Nick Virgil sound familiar. Did he play for the Saints before? I think then he played for the Saints. But anyway, I think there's a guy out there who can, that can give you leadership. Like I said, sometimes it's not just about, is a person like what they used to be. Sometimes it's their leadership quality. It's a guy that when they put their hands on a player, they're going down. And you never had an issue with Clay Matthews. I never heard that. Is Clay Matthews what he used to be? No, he's not. He lost that speed. That's what the reason why they transitioned him from being that middle linebacker. They put him on the weak side. So I mean, there's no problem with it. And I think that you put him with the Mario Davis and some young players, and once again, you still can draft a linebacker, DLP. It's not like if the Saints was to get somebody, like Murray, from Oklahoma. It's not like they couldn't get Clay Matthews. I mean, there's still somebody he can learn from. Sean Payton has to commit to the ground game. Lance, that's absolutely true. I think this is something that we've been preaching from the mountaintops, talking about Sean Payton possibly, running a football this season. I don't know what it is, man. Hopefully he'll get the picture and we start running a football. But if that's not the case, then I mean, you got to do something. Something's got to give, man. I just realized, man, I don't think I put up enough of those. Hold on, I still had some people I needed to put on here. Let me see. Let's see. Did I don't know, man. My graphic looks different than what I actually had. I thought I had some more people on the graphic or whatever. I'm talking about the State of the Saints graphic. The only picture I see is Malcolm Jenkins. I actually had two more players on there. I don't know why it's not showing. But anyway, oh well. Maybe we'll get them in there next time. But anyway, let's look at some of these questions. Y'all think Kamara gonna hold out? He may. He may hold out, but it's a little different, from a player holding out, uh, at the running back position versus, a person at any other skill position. Like Michael Thomas saying that he's going to hold out, that was a big deal because we seen him catch 125 balls the season that before he held out. And he followed that up with 149 catches after that. So the way I look at it, folks, you look at the running back position, the Saints will still be able to run a football. I think they proved that. They kind of proved that when Alvin Kamara was out. So, I mean, he can hold out. It's a possibility. Wouldn't get mad at him for holding out. I mean, I want all players to get their money. But, I mean, I think that might be one of them holdouts that can go into the season. Are the Saints keeping Von Bell? I'm not sure if they're going to keep him or not. He hasn't signed. According to sources, once again, Von Bell was given a contract by New Orleans Saints, but he didn't like the number. So he might end up going to another team. And from the looks of it, from the signing of DJ Swearinger and also Malcolm Jenkins, I mean, it's getting harder and harder to see him part of that rotation. And I like Von Bell. I think Von Bell is a good football player. Great? Absolutely not. I think you're average safety that does good things and that you can count on and that's dependable and can make a play every now and then. Is there something special about him? Is he around here, rocking the foundation of the NFL? No. Is he a Earl Thomas type player? No. Is he a transcendent player? No. Do I feel like if he was in a game, he'll make the defense better? Yeah, a little bit. But I don't think it's the point where he's, should be demanding a whole bunch of money because honestly, I like him, but he's not that good. I've seen better. I think we all have seen better safeties than Von Bell. Von Bell is good, but I've seen better. No disrespect to him, it's just a fact. I've seen better safeties than Von Bell. So if he wants to go out there and test the free agent market to see what he's worth, man, God bless him. And I hope he lands in a good spot where he doesn't have to lose year after year. But dude, sometimes you gotta see that maybe you're not as valuable as you think that you are, and I'm not just saying, that to be mean. It's just a fact. No Bell has been gone for a while. We got to run when necessary, turn Drew loose. Vine gonna feel bad for, yeah. I feel bad for Vine Bell, but in a way I don't, because it's a business. I mean, I get it. Like, man, you want to bet the house, the cars, the kids, and the dog on yourself sometimes. You want to show people like, man, look, I'm valuable. But sometimes, man, you get slapped in the face, especially when you realize that you're not as valuable as you think that you are. I think that Von Bell would be a good player on anybody's team, a solid safety on anybody's team. That's a good word for him. Solid. That's the word I've been looking for at least 3 podcasts to describe Von Bell. Solid. He's a solid safety. That's it. If you want solidarity, Von Bell. Clay would be fired under Allen's defense. Yeah, Clay Matthews, like I say, he still has something to offer. I mean, it may not be what he used to be. Because if he was what he used to be, Green Bay would have never let him go, folks. So who that? What y'all think of my conversation with TJ Jones? Jerry, that was you? Man. Jerry, I didn't know that was you, man. Man, you didn't tell me that was you. My goodness. Man, shouts out to Jerry, man. I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry, man. Hey, I did not know that was you, Jerry. If I knew that was you, man, I would have gave you the flow a little bit longer. That's out to Jerry, man. Jerry been a supporter of the podcast. I don't know how long, man. Thank you so much, man. I did not know that was you. Let's go back up a little bit. Janoris Jenkins, he's still signed or no? Yeah, Trevor. Janoris Jenkins is still signed to the Saints through this entire season. See, a lot of people don't think that he's signed because they look at his huge contract. Okay, right now I feel like the Saints are going to eventually reconstruct his contract because right now he's going to get like $11 million or something like that. He'll go like $11 million against the cap. I think the Saints are probably going to extend out his contract, probably give him, a big signing bonus. And I think they're going to keep him, man. But he is contracted to the Saints through 2021. It's basically up to the Saints if they want to keep him or not. And from the looks of it, it looks like the New Orleans Saints going to end up keeping him. I see that, because if they didn't, I think they probably would have released him a while ago. They're going to roll with him. So he's going to be there. Let's see. Not sure. I haven't heard anything. What are we talking about here? Let me see. Yeah, man, we still got him. You're not alone with Annie Apple. Hold on. What are we talking about with Annie Apple? I need to go back up. Because if we talking about Annie Apple, are we talking about Annie Apple or Annie Clark? Oh, anyway, I think I'm looking at something wrong. I thought somebody mentioned Annie Apple. I was about to say thank you. That's one of the reasons why I'm glad that Eli Apple is gone. His mom, Annie Apple. That lady is really, really annoying. And she's one of those people, in my opinion, who live vicariously through her son. She trying to make herself a big deal. I mean, that's one thing I can't stand. When people be trying to hog the spotlight of their kids, or they be trying to make themselves relevant off the back of their kids. I don't like that kind of stuff, man. I really don't. Like stay in your lane. Like one day, I like to say, if my son, if Paxton end up like playing sports and he becomes like really popular, really good at it, man, I ain't about to be out here like I'm LeVar Ball or something like that. That's his moment. That's his time to shine. I'll play the background. Like if somebody asks me about him, I give my opinion, but I ain't about to be up there like jumping out of the window and riding his coattails because he's successful. And I feel like she does that. And it comes off as annoying, man. Like she's like really annoying. And I'm just kind of glad that, I hate to say it, but I'm kind of glad that she gone. And I hope that, Eli flourishes on the Raiders team, man, because I think the only thing that's really holding him back is his mom, man. Like he needs to get away from her, you know. Not so much like stop talking to her, or, distance himself as far as like not dealing with her, but I think that he needs to become his own man. I'm seeing way too much, mama's boy type mentality going on with him, man, and that includes like his play on the field. Let's see. Damn, I hope so. I want us to grab Fulton. Fulton, a cornerback from LSU. Yeah, I think that Fulton will be a good cornerback. I don't think the Saints gonna end up getting him though. I don't think they're gonna pick him up. Louisiana has one of the worst cases of corona in America, but that's because we get so many tourists. My sister has a child and is a doctor too. I'm a little worried for her. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, I take that back. I'm not shocked. I mean, I gotta look at it like Mardi Gras was, last month. I mean, so many people come in. You got people that make New Orleans like a destination wedding. People have their bachelor party, bachelorette parties. Like people just come down and just want to hang out at the casino, hang on Bourbon Street. You got all those people on Bourbon. I mean, y'all know how it is, man. It's congested down there. People breathing all on each other in them small little hole in the wall type clubs. One of the most highest cases, man, in New York City. I mean, that don't surprise me either. I mean, there's sardines out there. They all on top of each other. But that doesn't surprise me, man. Look, I'm sorry that happened in New Orleans, man. Having a lockdown like that, locking down a whole city. I'm sorry, folks, but I mean, it seemed like it's just the best thing to do because sometimes we got to protect ourselves from ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we do. People got to protect us from ourselves because we're probably not going to do right, if, people don't make us. And, I'm not saying that, I'm all for martial law. I'm not for that at all. I don't want martial law, but I do want people to be smart about it. I know it can get a little frustrated, man. And sometimes, I mean, it's just us just being defiant. Like nobody wants to be told what to do. I know I'm that type of person. I don't like to be told what to do. Even if it's the right thing that person telling me, I still sometimes don't want to listen. I still be kind of stubborn with it. But we gotta, just kind of get away from that type of stubborn type mentality right now, and focus on the fact that we want to be here for a long time for our family members. That's what I think about. I think about my son. When I think about being stubborn or something like that, I think about, man, I want to be here for him. I want to be able to see him grow up. And with my history as far as like having pneumonia last year and all kind of other things, it get kind of. I know it's not about sports, but you got to think about your family. I know I think about mine. I really hope Saints draft Kenneth Murray or Patrick Queen. Dalton, those are some good picks. I can see Patrick Queen, who's a smart player. I can see him playing for the Saints, and I can see Kenneth Murray playing for the Saints, which I don't think Kenneth Murray gets a lot of credit. I think that he can be a really good linebacker. Do you think we could utilize DJ as a linebacker at times, like they did with Mark Barron? I have to see that how DJ Swearinger plays. I know he's a hard hitter, but DJ Swearinger is a guy that can turn the ball over too, man. He can get those interceptions. His reckless play sometimes, King Arthur, his reckless play sometimes, is the reason why he's on the sideline quite a bit. But I wouldn't mind doing that, putting him at a linebacker every now and then. But I think the Saints gonna want to play him at safety because his ability to turn the ball over. Patrick Queen would be nice. Okay. Everyone needs some prayer. Yep. What do you think about Everson Griffin? I've been asking about him for a long time, folks. Everson Griffin is a guy that I've been looking at ever since he said he was going to tear up his contract with the Minnesota Vikings. I've been looking at him. And I've been wanting the Saints to get him. So I would really like him. I think he would be good in that rotation. Um, Clay Matthews is good. Real problem is refs keep throwing flags at him. Yeah, it's probably because I'll be honest with you. The reason why they're throwing the flags at him is because a couple years ago, when they put in this new sack rule, Clay Matthews was the guy who was like really going in on the referees, talking about how the NFL is getting soft, and I think they have a target on him. He has a target on his back. So anything that he does, they're gonna give him a flag because he's kind of defiant, and he didn't want the league to change their rules when it comes to the sacking of the quarterback. So I think that has a lot to do with it. So who that? What y'all think of my conversation with T.J. Jones? Already read that. What's going on, Jerry? Let's see. A free agent. No Bell has been gone for a while. Uh, Clay would be fire under Allen's defense. We honestly only need another solid edge rusher opposite of Cam. Yep. Matthews was top 5 in sacks before he got injured, so he isn't washed, but he isn't what he used to be. Yeah, I mean, not what he used to be. I think we can agree on that. No, he only been in the league for a few years. He was the third pick uh, and was starting last year, one of their bright spots. The thing about Clay Matthews, I think that he's a really good player. Clay Matthews is a really good linebacker, and I think he can bring leadership to the team. Why do you think people are against the Saints? I don't think people are against the Saints. I just think that the fact that the Saints fans are so passionate, we're so passionate about the Saints, I think that kind of rubs people the wrong way because we still say who that no matter what. We don't let the past of the New Orleans Saints when they was like a snake bit team bother us. And we still saying who that no matter what the situation is. I think people be trying to kill, they be trying to kill the passion of the Saints fan base. And they think by, a couple of plays, they think they're going to kill us or destroy, our confidence that we have in the squad. And that's not the case. It's not the case. I mean, we still going to be saying who that no matter what happened. So I just think that we just had like the same passion as all those other fan pages. We walk around with a level of arrogance, like we got 6 Super Bowls or something, and there's nothing wrong with that because we know that on any given Sunday we're better than any of those teams that are always in the news, like the Cowboys, the Steelers, man, all the people, the Eagles. Like if you look at it, man, I mean the Saints been beating up on those teams. So the issue is, like why shouldn't we brag and boast? Especially like since we've been one of the best teams in football for the past, going on 4 years now. The Saints have more wins regular season wise than any other team in the past 3 years. So why wouldn't we brag? It's not like we're the Atlanta Falcon fans who are only fans when it's convenient. They're only fans when it's convenient. I only hear Atlanta Falcon fans jumping up out the trees, when they winning. They grandstanders, and then they get mad when you call them that. But it's a fact. It's a fact. Like nobody. I really don't see diehard Falcon fans. I don't. I don't see diehard Falcon fans, and I only see them when they win. I mean those jerseys be like really, really red, man. Like really, really red. Like they just bought the jersey or something. And I'm just wondering, like, what's going on? 225, you on the state of the South?
Man, cause Kiko played hard last year
Right.
before he got hurt, but
Right.
he played hard though. He
Right.
played hard. He tackled hard and he played hard.
Yeah.
And I think we need to keep him. Like we keep him
Yeah.
on the contract. I'm glad we did that.
Right.
I think he's gonna be a factor in our defense this year.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I agree with that. I think that Kiko Alonso is a good linebacker. I think the Saints did the right thing by trading for him at the beginning of the season. And the only thing that kind of holds Kiko Alonso back is the fact that he's always hurt. I mean, even his rookie season, I mean, he was defensive rookie of the year. What a lot of people don't know. I mean,
Right.
the fact of the matter is he goes around the league. I mean, I think he played for Buffalo, then he played for Philly, then he played for Miami, and then finally the Saints. But it has nothing to do with his production on the field. It has everything to do with him, not being healthy. That's my opinion
Right.
on that. But I mean, you do
Right.
have a good point. I like him too, man.
Right. And I think we need to get rid of Ted Ginn. I'm sorry.
You're not
I'm
the
sorry.
you're not the only person that feels that way, man. There's a lot of people that
I'm
feel like
sorry, man.
there's a lot of people that feel like he needs to get up out of there too, man. So,
Yeah, you're wasting money right now. I appreciate it, Ted.
no problem, man. Thank you for calling.
All right,
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, man. Ted again, I mean, he's one of those guys that has run their course, and you know, I mean, he's played some good seasons with the Saints. I mean, he's been clear, man. What's going on,
What up, big brother? What up, big brother?
man? How you
Hey,
doing,
man.
man?
I'm good, man. Listen, I just called in because I wanted to say something, bro.
Yeah,
We're not paying as much attention to Harris as we should be. Now, Harris is gonna be a dog this year. People don't understand. He showed glimpses outside of just being a good punt and kickoff return. He showed glimpses of his speed, his ability to shift gears and go this way and that way, man. I feel like we're really sleeping on what he's going to bring to the table. And I think Sean Payton is literally loving the fact that no one's paying attention because he's going to work this guy into the offense in ways that we ain't ready yet. But I'm telling you, we go see.
yeah, man. I mean, yeah, man. I mean, you look at Harris, man. I mean, the thing about it is, I think when at the beginning of the season, a lot of people looked at Harris as being a good punt returner, But I mean, the thing he kind of struggled with was his hands. And as as the season went on, you started to see the Saints kind of like put packages, what I'm saying, like put them in different packages, like the jet sweep and also that play down the field that Taysom Hill threw to him. And I think that was the writing on the wall, man. I think that was like almost like the passing of the torch, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I think that
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
like him being that downfield threat. And even if you talk to Sean Payton, I mean, Sean Payton said in interviews he reminds him of a young Tyreek Hill. So I mean, Tyreek Hill is
yeah,
one of those guys, was one of those speedy guys, one of those speedy, fast guys, what I'm saying, that struggled with his hands, but eventually he kind of molded himself into a good wide receiver. So I think that's something that could be possible with, Harris. So man,
oh
that
yeah.
that 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 play to me just showed me like, man, that was the Saints telling us this was what's to come.
Hey man, listen, I'm not Devery. Devery struggled too in the beginning, but Ted again as well. You have
Yeah,
great receivers. Well, you have receivers that become productive that kind of struggle with their hands in the beginning. I'm
yeah,
hoping that with his skill set, his speed, his shiftiness, that he can get those hands together, man. Because I'm looking forward to seeing him contribute more, man. He was a Pro Bowl as a punt returner, and it
right,
was awesome in his first year. I just want to see him contribute in a way I want to see Tommy Lee Lewis contribute, which
right.
I want to see him do the things that I wanted to see a guy of that type of skill level do. So I'm just praying. I'm just hoping out, man. And I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'll let you go, man. I really appreciate the podcast. I love it, man.
Yeah,
I'm
thank
here
you.
every week. I'm gonna try to watch it as long as I can, bro. But I'll let you get to the next call, man, because I want to hear what they got to say as well.
Okay, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for the call.
No problem, big brother.
Yeah, yeah, man. Harris, man. I just feel like that was just the writing on the wall. Excuse me. That was just the writing on the wall, in my opinion. As far as like when I look at Harris, I look at him as a player who is going to be really, really good, man. I look at him. I see Tyreek Hill in him. I see like guys like that struggled at the beginning of their career. The caller mentioned Devery Henderson. He was one of those guys that had really good speed, but his hands were like very, very questionable. You know what I'm saying? Like at the beginning, then Curtis Johnson worked with him. Ironically, Curtis Johnson still is the wide receivers coach. He worked with him and he became a better receiver. And I see a lot of the qualities that Tyreek Hill possessed that Harris can possess as well. So I think that the Saints throwing that ball down the field 55 yards to Harris, I think that was just the writing on the wall to say, man, this is going to be our downfield threat for the future. And he deserves it, man. I mean, he makes first team All Pro. He makes the Pro Bowl. He's probably one of the best kick returners in the game since I mean, for a while since the new rules have been implemented. So he does a really, really good job, man. I declare 25-point lead, win away day. I think Harris would be successful on the jet sweep, and deep routes, like when Taysom threw the deep ball against the Vikings in the wild card game. What's new, TJ? Got the best analysts on this website. Uh, let's see, man. I appreciate that, man, but I mean, I just thank y'all. Thank y'all for giving me the motivation to do the show. I just try to give my opinion about things, and a lot of things I do, man, I really like it, man. Especially with the Saints, man. This isn't even like I don't even consider this like a job or anything. Like some people they get on YouTube, they look at it like it's a job, man. But I love doing this. I love it's fun. I get an opportunity to see different perspectives of Saints fans and just laugh about other teams and and just enjoy this time, man. The South is going to be the hardest division this year. Josh, I disagree with that. I think that when we look at divisions on paper, I think we look at it like now, if we were playing Madden, it'd probably be a tough division. But when we're looking at, we just looking at playing the games, man. I mean, anything can happen. Anything can possibly happen. I mean, it could be the best division in football. It could not be the best division in football. I guess you can say it automatically makes it that way, Josh. Well, if I can, play devil's advocate for a second, I will say that it's because of the two legends that get a chance to play each other twice a year. Tom Brady against Drew Brees. I mean, that's going to bring in some numbers. I'm pretty sure both of those games are going to be on prime time. And I'm pretty sure the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are probably going to get more primetime games and more exposure than they ever have, or just Jameis Winston being a quarterback. So it will be exciting, but I mean, I'm just not, I'm going to hold my judgment. It's all good, TJ Jones. Enjoyed the phone interview with you. Much love to you, brother. And yes, that was me. I think Deonte Harris needs to be used more. Yeah. Jack Rabbit. Who going to trade for Traquan? Traquan will be given one more year to prove himself, or he will be cut during preseason cuts next year. Probably this year. Do you think Marcus Williams can get better? Marcus Williams is good, man. I mean, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand what people want. I don't understand is because PJ Williams get beat, and I mean, the only thing I see out of Marcus Williams that needs to improve is his tackling and his aggression. But like I said, I think Malcolm Jenkins coming in is going to help him. It's not no chunky commercial, Andy. Eli Apple needs to be a man. In my opinion, city with major airports are at risk in this situation. I agree. Everybody knew New Orleans was going to be a hot spot for the virus. Yep. Now we reaching that point where I'm talking about the virus. TJ Jones, State of the Saints. I forgot to mention. Love the JSU shirt. Oh yeah, man. Yes sir. Yes sir. JSU all the way, man. Jack State University all the way, man. I got a rep for the university, man. I got to show some love to Jackson State. TJ, how much do you think Emmanuel Sanders will improve the offense? I think he improved it tremendously, man. Man, we got to look at there was such a huge gap. I think it was like 800 or 900 yards between, uh, Michael Thomas and the next receiver. That's insane. So I think whatever he does, he's probably going to solidify that second spot. Probably give you about 600 or 700 yards, and that's something that the Saints need. So that's definitely gonna help, bro. Hope you pray for you. You got the virus? Why? Because I'm coughing and sniffling. 90.9 is in the middle of the woods. If you seen all the pollen that they have out there, you would see why I'm sniffling right now. I always deal with this. These are seasonal allergies. So yeah, I appreciate that, man. But ain't no virus over here. And trust me, if I even had remotely the symptoms, my girl would tell me. She'd be like, "Go get yourself checked out." But nah, man. But the sniffling and stuff like that, like man, that just come from allergies. Every single year, I get the same thing. So I definitely don't have that. Like the symptoms that I have aren't even remotely the same symptoms that a person with corona. Every single year, I get the same. Yeah. So I don't know what happened. I just heard myself in the background. But anyway, TJ, how much do you think Emmanuel Sanders will improve the offense? I already answered that. TJ, we still draft a wide receiver, cornerback at 24. Saints should draft me, AJ Pierce. What position would you play? If the Saints draft you, what position would you play? If a team signs Everson Griffin before the Saints, do we 504? You're on the state of the Saints.
Yeah, my bad, bro. That was me with that message. I meant to say I hope you don't have a virus because a nigga watch your shit. Oh, I mean, I'm sorry. I watch your stuff every day.
Yeah.
So I would just wish wishes.
Oh nah, man. I appreciate that, but I ain't got it, man. I said I just
But
deal
yeah,
with
it's all love, brother.
Nah, man. I just deal with allergies and stuff like that, man. Like I work out in the woods, man. Like in the middle of the woods, and sometimes like man, you got all those trees around you, man. Got pollen all over the ground. So I mean, every year, like I always get these seasonal allergies, man. And like I said, man,
Right.
my girl's a nurse practitioner. I guarantee you, if she would have, if I would have had these symptoms, she would have told me to get the hell out the house a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't kicked me out yet.
Right.
So I mean, it's all good, man. I appreciate the concern, though, man. But I mean, I understand why people would say, be thinking like that and stuff, especially at times like this. But trust me,
No, I ain't saying I was thinking you had. I was just, you know what I'm saying, hoping you didn't because I watch your podcast every day and all that. Like, I'm
yeah,
watching you right now while we talk. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Then I'm
yeah,
from the city and they saying we got 800 people down here with it.
right,
Like, they got 12 in the city that I'm in. I'm in Jefferson Parish. So, like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to look out for my people, bro.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. Like I said, man, I got a brother. Not only my brother, he stays on the West Bank, but he works at the airport, dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Man, my girl ATL agent in the airport. Like,
yeah, man, it's
she
crazy.
talking to people.
Up there trying to finesse their way through to the room, bro. Like they give
Right.
them, questionnaires, and if the person like checks, a no box when it's supposed to be a yes, they might get to the back
Exactly.
and then tell them what's really going on with them, and then by them telling them, it might expose them to the virus. So it's
Exactly. You
it's crazy,
got all
dude.
kind of people. You got to touch the same papers and all that. Like,
Yeah,
it's
man.
wild out there.
Man, yes, sir. Like, yeah, man. But you be safe out there, man. I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much for the call. And y'all be safe out there, man.
You do the same, brother.
All right. Take care. Yeah, man. It's crazy out here, man. It is crazy. That all this stuff is going on. Man, I just pray, that this is over soon. This is really frustrating. It is really frustrating to be dealing with this type of stuff. Like everybody just want to live their lives. They just want to go out there. They want to live their lives. They want to go out and socialize with friends. I mean, and you don't want to have that in the back of your mind. You know, people want to have fun. People want to enjoy themselves. People want to have a drink. People want to be able to go to the store and get some Angel Soft or some Cottonelle or Quilted Northern. You know what I'm saying? Some people want this tissue. You know what I'm saying? So man, can't wait for it to be over. That is just the truth. Can't wait for it to be over. But we have to talk about before we get out of here. We got to talk about DJ Swearinger. I didn't give him the time. DJ Swearinger signed a 1-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. They're bringing him back, and I like the move. I like DJ Swearinger because he is a tough guy, man. He's a big hitter. He's a very instinctive player. He's still young. I think he's like 28 years old, and I think that he will add a different dynamic to the team. I think a caller or somebody in the chat said that he could possibly end up being a linebacker. Excuse me, a linebacker, or he could end up being a safety. He could play both spots. But I like the move. I think that it's going to be really really good for the New Orleans Saints. So that kind of helps out, and that makes me believe even more that the Saints may not be bringing back Vibes. He got the 5-year deal. And I know a lot of people aren't happy about that. I've seen the messages, people complaining and mad and frustrated about uh, Andrews Pete coming back to the New Orleans Saints. Andrews Pete, man. Andrews, man. I don't know, man. I'm up and down with it. It's not like they paid him, a whole heap and a heck of a lot of money. I think it was middle of the road for his type of position. And maybe the phone wasn't ringing off the hook the way his agent thought it would, so they end up going back to the Saints. I like Andrews Pete for one reason only. That is his ability when the Saints are running the football. He is a really good offensive lineman when it comes to running the football. If the Saints can run the football, then Andrews Pete will flourish. He struggles in the passing game because he's kind of big and he's kind of slow, so guys do get the best of him at times. But when they're running that football, Andrews Pete does a good job at run blocking. And hopefully, man, this 5-year contract, he plays and he elevates his game and he becomes better. I'm hoping, I'm praying, I'm wishing. But at the end of the day, it's really up to him. But it's not like the Saints just gave him a huge amount of money. Like most guards at his position, they get way more money than what he got. So I'm not mad at that. But this has been the State of the Saints podcast. Thank you all very much for tuning in to the live. Thank you so much for those out there that are on lockdown. Just be patient, man. I'm praying for y'all. Hopefully this will be over really soon. Hopefully the world will go back to normal. But in the process, man, I'm going to continue to make content to give you all something that you can enjoy, give y'all something that y'all can, appreciate on my end. I'm not saying that, I'm ESPN First Take or Skipping Shannon's Undisputed, but, I really get behind this webcam and this mic. And, I just try to give you all the best analysis that I can. And I appreciate you all for sticking with me, showing me love, concern, sending emails, sending DMs. Thank y'all so much. And just be safe once again. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. Also on facebook.com, search The State of the Saints Podcast. The State of the Game is on YouTube as well, youtube.com, search The State of the Game. Haven't been posting on that because not really much has been going on. So please subscribe to the channel. We're going to be up and running on that. And also on facebook.com, search The State of the Game. I am TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And like always, all I got to say is, who dat?